and good day everyone. Welcome to my channel, Tea Time and Spells. My name is Melissa and it's been a while since my last video and I'm going to explain kind of what's been going on. But the whole purpose of today's video is to kind of do a month in review for the last 2 months. So for January and February of 2026. So if you're kind of interested to hear the tea on what's been going on, then grab yourself a snack, something to drink. Today is a black coffee kind of a day. I need the caffeine. So we're having an extra strong cup of coffee that I almost just spilled. Oh my goodness. And my previous cup, for those who may have noticed, was white and it was one of my favorite cups. It was a cauldron shaped cup and my husband accidentally broke it, so I had to get a replacement. And this one says Witch's Brew, but only on this side. And normally I like to hold my coffee this way and it doesn't say it, so I may need to find a replacement for my favorite cup. But tangent aside, let's get into the month in review. So before I showcase kind of what I accomplished in the first couple months of the year, I want to explain where I've kind of been. So if you saw my last video, which was posted I think 30 days ago, so a month, I had just done a post review of my first completion of the year, which was the Flossy Fox Stitch Along. Loved it. But it came at like the second or third week of the month and it was my only finish. And I was like, I don't want to really do back and back with a month in review. It just seemed kind of redundant. So I was like, you know what, I'll just wait until, I have another finish or something of note to share with you guys. And then I was really in a funk, and I mentioned in my last video that I had the winter blues. That continued. Sickness followed with it. We were all circling the sickness train, which it seems like everybody's doing that. And when you're sick and you got migraines and the weather's blah, you just don't want to do anything. For me, it was a combination of I was kind of diamond painting at night and I was reading. And then I was also playing games. And that was another thing, is time management. You only have so many hours in a day. And I was trying to split my time up where I was spending equal time on each of my hobbies, as well as spending time with my family. And that was kind of one of the things I noticed is, after the end of a day, you come home, you eat. We all kind of just split off and did our own thing. Well, I was trying to kind of bring the family back together, eat at the table for dinner, maybe watch a movie, play a game with our son, reading a book out loud. I was kind of starting to do all of that, which does take time out of doing other things such as diamond painting. And I'll be honest, I was getting burnt out on diamond painting. So I had slowed down a lot. But then it picked up the last week, and I'm going to explain what. But that was kind of the reason why I dropped off. In addition to that, technological reasons. So I have a very, very old iPhone. I think it's an iPhone 8. Half the stuff doesn't work on it anymore. The iOS is too outdated and my battery is shot. A lot of the times, like this is going to be a little test video because my battery just doesn't last very long. Even when it's plugged in and I'm recording, it can sometimes shut off due to being overheated. So technology has been a big problem as well, which is why I haven't really done videos, not to mention space being taken up on it. So looking at getting a new phone, hopefully in the next couple of days, or not days, sorry, in the next couple of months. I like to pay cash up front for everything. So that's kind of part of the reason why too, is I just kind of want to wait on that. So apart from that, I also took the time to do a little bit of organizing. I kind of shuffled around some things when it came to like my diamond painting supplies. I consolidated my diamond painting storage into a larger storage. That took forever. I'm not gonna lie, that took several hours per style. So like I have a box, and I'll show this with you guys, but I have a box of round drills and a box of square drills. Those took several hours each just to kind of complete. And my round storage isn't even completed yet because I ran out of supplies. So that was a project that I severely underestimated, but I'm very happy I did. Very happy. It made things so much easier when it came to kitting out my last project and just finding everything. So that's kind of the tea. Nothing's, you know, I'm not like critically ill or anything like that. Just been trying to manage family, trying to manage work. We've been working a lot of extra hours, which has been nice to get some things taken care of. We're prepping for a big renovation project with windows, so that's going to take some time out. And I've just been kind of just not been feeling in the mood to record. And I know that a lot of people are kind of in a blah state with everything going around and with everything going on in the world, and it's understandable. I kind of got into my head quite a bit where I just didn't have anything good or fun or exciting to say, and I didn't want to just do a whip and chat and just complain or rant about the state of the world or anything like that, because I want to try to keep things upbeat and positive. But the reality is that there are things going on in the world. You know, I'm not going to go into it, but, you know, that plays a role for everybody. And sometimes you can't escape the reality of that. But I am going to try to keep things positive because that's what we're all here for, to escape. So, with that being said, I'm going to talk to you guys about my first couple of diamond painting completions, because I've only done 2, 1 each month. And then I'm going to showcase to you guys my works in progress. Now, there is one whip, and it will be at the very end so that you guys can skip and not be spoiled, which I really appreciate. And that is going to be a mystery kit. So no worries, fair warning, I'll have lots of blaring lights or whatever. Maybe not lights because I don't want anybody to get a seizure, but there will be plenty of advance notice when that time comes. But with all that waffling aside, let's get into the first one. So this is my first completion of the year, and this is number 20. Yeah, my 20th completion of all time, first for the year 2026. And this is the beautiful Flossy Fox Flower Meadow Dragon DP Along. It's kind of a mouthful. But this is from the artist Flossy Fox. She is a pixel artist, and she has an Etsy shop that specializes in cross-stitching patterns. And then she's also teamed up with Jaded Gem Shop to translate those patterns, not all of them, but a good majority of them, to diamond painting, because the pixel-based imagery translates super well to diamond painting. Like, look at this beauty. So pretty. This was a ton of fun. So the Flossy Fox Stitch Along, or DP event, was a event that she created where she launched the first pattern in August of 2025. And then it's a 6-part series, so each month there would be another part of the pattern released, and then it would continue until January, where the final part hit. Now, these parts were not like she cut individually 6 nice complete rectangle sections or anything like that. They were kind of messy with like the way it was looking, which was fine, but she also made note for diamond painters in particular to not fill in the background until you had that complete area, because otherwise you'd be taking out some jewels. And I did have to do that a couple times when I got a little too close to the edge and overstepped a bit. But all in all, this was one of my favorite completions, just because I enjoyed the mystery of it. Not to mention, there was some brain power you had to do. You had to utilize a different part of your brain to complete this, because it's counted cross-stitch that's been translated to diamond painting. So you had to count, because there was no image on this canvas. It was a blank canvas. You had to count where they were going and kind of keep track. I did it the old school way, where I used a paper pattern, and that's how I did it, like how I used to do for cross-stitch. I know of a lot of people who used a app like Pattern Keeper, which is an Android app. I have iPhone, and I downloaded a couple different patterns apps, and I just didn't like them, so I just went back to old school with paper, and I loved that. And the way you had to do it was you would purchase the pattern on Flossy Fox's Etsy shop, and I want to say it was like maybe 10, 15, 20 bucks, something like that. And she would email you subsequent months' patterns, and then she had made an arrangement with Jaded Gem Shop where you would source the drills and the canvas through Jaded Gem Shop. So you would get everything you needed in Jaded Gem Shop's box like you would normally, and then you would kit it up and just have at it when the patterns came. I decided to use my Elizabeth Ward style of storage for this kit, and having used that storage for this, next time I would definitely want to use a system like the Forever Young or Tray Brick storage solutions for it, because there were many times when you would have like some confetti kind of areas, like right here with like the flowers or the dragons, and it would be nice to just have like maybe three trays worth of colors out and then just kind of do it that way. So I think next time that's what I'm going to do. I will absolutely be doing this again this year. As long as Flossy Fox is doing it again, I would love to do this again. This was so much fun. This was a fun kit project that I looked forward to, and unfortunately I didn't do it as you were supposed to. So I got kind of caught up with finishing up a couple kits later on in the fall, and I didn't really start this until, let me see, I wrote it down. Let's see, I started this on November 27th of 2025, and then I finished it January 15th. So like I was doing 2 or 3 parts at a time. And then for dimension wise, this is a 44.25 by 46.25 inch canvas, and it had 32 colors. And there were quite a few fairy dust in this one actually. There was a really pretty 666. This one was very pretty. It's probably my favorite fairy dust color in general. Then there was this green. So like a lot of the dragons had fairy dust in them. This blue dragon had like this really pretty, like a light blue, pale blue in there. Then the white, we had some fairy dust, and then kind of like this really pretty gray. And then at the bottom, which was actually where you started, the first 2 patterns were these 2 dragons here. And she is just chock full of really pretty drills. Like she's got that pale blue and then that white. It was an interesting choice for her back legs to be like this purple. I think I would have chosen something different, but with 32 colors, this is kind of what you got. I think she would have probably looked a little bit better with maybe like, I don't know, like maybe a darker maroon possibly instead of this purple. That's kind of my big critique for it. As for drills were perfect. I did have some trash, and I did have some gapping, and I mentioned this in my post review, like especially with this lighter color, you could see it for sure. Like I could see it really bad right here through the viewfinder of the camera. But like I mentioned in my review, I don't know how you would generally go about going away from that, especially with a canvas that didn't have a printed image that you're doing counted on. I just don't know how you would fix that either. And there were times when like I would have some trash and everything, but I had plenty of drills, so that was fine. I just think because the background was a lighter color, you just kind of notice the gapping more, especially if you multi-place, and I do multi-place, and that's definitely something I've noticed with pretty much all the kits I've been working on. If you multi-place light colors, you tend to see the lines. It's just kind of it is what it is. But when you look at it from afar, it's not like it's that bad. I mean, it doesn't distract you, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can see like this line right here kind of cutting through the flower, but all in all, I enjoyed the process of it, especially the counting part, because I thought that was a fun way to keep your mind sharp. It was a good mental activity for sure. So that was my first kit for the year, the beautiful flower meadow dragon stitch along, and I think it turned out really good. So I saved my drills only from Diamond Art Club. With Jaded Gem Shop, I saved the specials, but that was it. I tossed the rest of the drills out. And I mean, I finished this a day or two, I think, after, like just a few days after after Flossy Fox had released the last pattern. So I had tossed everything out. And then she gave a bonus pattern for like a bookmark, and I was like, no, I just tossed out all the colors. That's okay. I didn't have any spare canvas. I don't know how I would have, I guess I would have had to go to like Hobby Lobby to, because I don't have a Michael's close by, but I probably would have had to go to like Hobby Lobby to get like a small roll of canvas that was sticky and made that work, but I was kind of bummed. I was like, dang it, I would have loved to have had a matching bookmark. That would have been cute. Oh well. Hopefully some of you guys did it though, if you were participating in this. So that was my first completion of the year and my only completion for January. Now, I'm gonna roll this up and let's take a look at February. All right, so for my second completion, it is the beautiful Midnight Snack by Maddie Arts. This probably came as no surprise to some of you who saw my last completion of the year last year, because I enjoyed Maddie Arts so much. Like Cocoa Comfort was so relaxing and it was so much fun to work on. And I'm like, you know, I kind of want to do another Maddie Arts, and you know, I had Midnight Snack in mind, but you know, February was supposed to be the fairy tale and folklore event, and I was originally going to do Goddess of Night by Chris Bug. And then, you know, I kind of got in my head and I slowed down and I was like, you know what? I want to do something that makes me happy. I want to do something where I don't worry about what's going on or if there's an event that I needed time. I'm just going to do what I'm in the mood for. I'm going to mood diamond paint. And that's what I did. And I didn't even do an unboxing. I didn't do an unboxing of this. I didn't show the treasure card. I didn't go over the stats, none of that. So I'll kind of do that with you now. Kind of do a preview and then show you the release and how it looks completed. So just a little bit of stats. This is Midnight Snack by Maddie Arts. It is a 20 by 28 inch canvas. This is round and it had 60 colors. This one had just a couple of ABs and 3 fairy dust diamonds, and where they were located was actually perfect. I think this one, the image itself was just a nice calmer one. It kind of reminded me of a good, like, looking towards the future, looking at spring and the new year. So this one I started on January 21st and I finished it February 21st. So just a solid month in between. And for the color scheme, oh duh, it's not going to be on here because it's on the canvas. The color scheme was all the colors that I love. The purples! And look at it, it's so pretty. And you're not going to see a lot of those fairy dust or ABs until you see the lights. So like right here, we had that really pretty AB that was yellow. So yellow ABs, and then there were also yellow fairy dust drills. So the fairy dust, my goodness, I cannot speak today. The fairy dust drills were actually like in the little bell at the top of her hat and kind of a little bit on the outside, like the outlining of it, and a little bit, I believe, in the stars. Let's see. Yep, the stars were made of that really pretty yellow fairy dust, which I really like that fairy dust yellow. I think it's so pretty. The yellow ABs were the candles. And then there was white fairy dust, which you can kind of see like right here. A little bit on her cup, like the rim of her cup right here. And then very much so like in this candle right here in the flame. There was a lot of that. The last fairy dust was like a pink. Let me see if I could find where that one was. That one was a little bit more difficult to find. It wasn't that much either. This one was more of like a highlighting, so maybe it's in the, let me see if it's in the, nope, it's not in the stars. Well, okay, kind of. You see those little pink dots in the back? That was fairy dust. So just little little dots in the sky that gave it a little extra glimmer, some faraway stars. Oh, but as you can see, it sparkles like crazy. I love Diamond Art Club's rounds because they just sparkle so pretty. This one was so much fun, and it was so relaxing because, you know, there was a lot of color blocking, and I love my color blocking. I do like a combo, but this one was a lot of color blocking, which I did enjoy. It was a very nice, relaxing kit to work on. Now, I did run into a couple things. The glue was slippy and slidey like crazy. I felt like I was figure skating with some of these diamond painting diamonds, because I would put some on there and then like they would just be sliding around like crazy. So it made it kind of difficult to multiply some of these bigger sections because they were sliding around so much. I had to constantly kind of adjust them, but overall I think it turned out really good, especially like her hat. Like a lot of this was color blocking, and it turned out really good. There's a little bit of gapping here. Now, somebody had mentioned that they thought Diamond Art Club had tightened the round drill field for their recent ones. And I guess I don't know if I noticed a difference compared to an older round. So my basis of comparison would probably be Teatime Spell by Chrysabug, which was a round from Diamond Art Club, my favorite of all time, hence the name of the channel. And that one was older, that one only had ABs, but I didn't notice any issues with the round drill field. I guess I didn't pay attention too much when I was doing it. I was just enjoying it for what it was. And I think the drill fields, I don't know, it seems like they're more noticeable with square, because with squares you have to butt them up like right there. Round, you automatically have, you know, a perimeter around it that's going to be gapped. So I don't know, it seems like it fits in a little bit more. You can get away with more with rounds. At least that was my case. So overall though, this was really, really fun, and it was a nice break because one of my goals this year was I wanted to make a little bit of progress each month on my year-long project, which is The Apprentice by Cat Fedora. It is confetti hell, excuse my language, but it is straight up confetti, and I am not a confetti person because I've got her, okay, I always mess it up, hybrid charted one, which is computer charted. Yeah, because her pixel is hand rendered. See, I'm learning. And I made the mistake of getting the hybrid charted one. So, lesson learned there. But I enjoy the image, and the image is starting to come together. But because it is confetti, and because I was working on some rather larger sections, like this is a release paper that Jada Gym Shop always includes with their kits. And this is the section size that I'm working on for The Apprentice. So it's, for the size of it, it's 3 of these each row. And my goal is to work on 1 section a month. So in between the Flossy Fox Flower Dragon kit and this one, I was working on some of The Apprentice, as well as working on The Apprentice a little bit in January before I started this one. So trying to make a little bit of progress each month. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my whips. Oh, before I do, it figures that the one time I don't do an unboxing of this kit and showing you the Treasure Quest card would be the day that I get a gold Treasure Quest card. It figures. I remember when I did this, when I unboxed it, because I was just in the zone. I just wanted to yank it out, kit it up, and work on it. And I pulled this out, and I'm like, man, I knew I should have done an unboxing. But at that point, I was like, you know what? Fine, whatever. I'm just going to work on it. But it just, I got to laugh at it, because I'm like, of course I would get a gold card when I don't do an unboxing. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to roll this up, and then I'm going to show you my whips. The first one's going to be The Apprentice. The last one will be my mystery kit, so I'll give you fair warning before that one. All right, so here we have The Apprentice by Cat Fedora. So this is a 60 by 60 centimeter canvas, so it's a equal square. And there are, it's almost halfway, yeah, because I've got this section here, which is that release paper size that I was telling you guys about, see? So 1, 2, 3. Now, there is that much left, which is equal to this right here, this size. So I have 7 months or 7 sections left to do. It is currently March, so I am ahead of the game because originally I think I had like these 2 sections done and that was it. I kind of went ham on it. I don't like unfinished business, and this was kind of one of those ones that was really hanging over my head, so I really wanted to make some good work on it, and I did. And now that it's starting to come together, I'm getting more excited about it because like now I can see stuff. Look, I see the cauldron and the candles, the books and the herbs and mushrooms. I'm loving that. And I think this is crystal over here. So it's like now I'm finally getting into some of the goodies, like some of the stuff that keeps you going. Because this was not keeping me going. This was like, ooh. And maybe that's where the roulette style, where, you know, you pick a number and then you choose that section to work on. Maybe that helps in that regard. I have yet to do that. For my next whip, the mystery kit, I did buy some special release paper. And originally I was going to do that. But as soon as I started, I couldn't stop. And I'll go over that next. But for The Apprentice, though, I mean, I am enjoying how it looks. You can see how it is very confetti heavy. It is a watercolor look, so it really blends in all that watercolor. I have seen the pixel version where it's a sharper, clearer image, but you do lose that detail a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. Kat from Kat's Diamond Painting has done a comparison series. Definitely check it out. It's very informative. And it really showcases the style difference between hybrid and pixel charting. And I wish there was more of like a happy medium, because like I like the color blocking and the sharpness of the pixel charted, but I like the detail and the softness that comes from this hybrid charting too. But I don't like the confetti. So it's like, if we can get like maybe a happy medium, please. But all in all, I have been enjoying it quite a bit now. And I am running into some gapping problems with this, which, considering it's so confetti, that shouldn't be the case. So I am noticing a drill-filled difference with Jaded Gem Shop compared to Diamond Art Club. So that is something to note. And I am coming across quite a few trash drills. This is kind of the reason why I like to save drills. Now, I only save Diamond Art Club because, I'll be honest, 99% of my stash is Diamond Art Club. If I'm going to run into a problem, it's going to be a Diamond Art Club painting most of the time. But if I have a color that I run out of with like Jaded Gem Shop or something, maybe it'll be close enough of a shade that I could just swap it out and, you know, finish up a section. I'm sure Jaded Gem Shop has a warranty. I've never had to use it. And since this is one that I bought off a D-Stash, it wouldn't apply anyways. But you can kind of see like here, there's a little bit of gapping there. I can see it more in the lighter colors for sure. Like over here, let me see if I can't zoom in a little bit there. So yeah, like I don't want the light to shine on it, but right here I can kind of see quite a bit of gapping right there. I mean, is it huge? Absolutely not. It is not something that is a big deal. I have a little bit of like a popping drill or something right there, and kind of right there too, like just a little bit of weirdness, awkwardness, I guess you could say. But I mean, is it enough to detract from the image? No. What detracts from the image for me is the confetti, which is the process part of it, not the art. The art itself is gorgeous, and that's what's keeping me going. But the confetti, not so much. And I mean, I'll kind of give you a little shot here. Like, that's confetti. That's way too much confetti for me. And I learned very early on, I am not a confetti person, which if you've, seen any of my videos complaining about this kit. You know that. It is not a surprise. Mellissa does not like confetti. I do enjoy combination though. If it's a nice, if it's a nice mix of confetti and color blocking, that's enjoyable. I do enjoy that. So, but this one, like I said, I'm making headway. I need to stop my current WIP, which is the mystery kit, so that I can spend some time working on this section, and then I'll be exactly halfway. But for now, I'm happy with the progress I've made so far. So, without further ado, that leaves us with the mystery kit. So, this is your warning. If you do not wish to see the mystery kit, then go ahead and click away. The mystery kit is the Ivy Dolomore Fantasy Mystery Kit, which I believe is number, what, 18? Somebody said it's on the box code. Let me see. Where is the box code? Aha! Mystery kit number 14. And this is the Ivy Dolomore Mystery Kit. Now, I had talked about this for several months prior to pulling this out, that I had planned on working on this mystery kit. And then in January, Katie from Diamonds and Washi worked on it. And then I felt like, oh no, it's going to seem like I was copying her, when that wasn't the case. It was always my plan. But it did kind of get into my head a little bit, because I'm like, it's mystery kit number 14. We're like up to 100, of course. But it is what it is. So if you've already seen her videos, you probably already know what the image looks like. So it's probably not going to be a spoiler for you. But for those who were wanting to keep it a secret, I wanted to keep it a secret. So I did not watch any of Katie's videos. I mean, Katie did a whip and chat on it, a post review, and then she also did like a, was it like 5 or 10 tips on how to work on mystery kits. I didn't watch any of those because this is a true mystery for me. I have no idea what the image looks like, and I wanted to keep it that way. So this is why I'm doing my friendly spoiler alert right now. Click away if you do not wish to see the rest of my whips, because this is the only other whip. I'm working on this one and that's it. So, and then that's going to be it for this video. The first part of the year for me has been a combination of diamond painting and reading. However, the reading part has been massive, and I think I'm going to just do a separate video on that. That way people who are here for diamond painting can just watch the diamond painting video. People who are interested to hear in the other hobbies that I'm doing, like reading, you know, you guys can watch that video. I kind of want to keep it separate, especially since, I mean, I haven't counted it yet, probably like it's over a dozen books already. And yeah, so I've got quite a few, and that would take up some time. So I think I'd like a dedicated video for that. But without further ado, this is your final chance to move away if you wish. This isn't going to be the end of the video, because I am going to do, after this, I'm going to showcase the storage that I've picked up and some other little odds and ends that are diamond painting related. But I think I'm going to put like a little red box around this portion of the video to showcase that, hey, this is the mystery kit. I will be honest though, the parts that I've worked on for the mystery kit don't show hardly anything, so it's probably not going to be too much of a spoiler. But that's it. So 3, 2, 1, ta-da! Yeah, you can't really see anything. I did this just as one last chance, okay? This is it. Final warning. Okay. So this is what I have been working on. I started this kit March 2nd. So it's been a few days. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Mellissa, you got like 2 whole rows done already. I sure did. I have been loving this kit. Like, this has been so much fun because I have no idea what the image is. At this point, I still don't know what the image is. I think this is a window, and I think this is a curtain. Maybe like some buildings are, I have no idea. I really have no idea, and I'm loving it. I bought some release paper. You can see the cutesy little, my cutesy little witches here. I only have this section with release papers. The rest of it I have rolled up like this. And I plan on probably when I finish this section here to do probably another 3 rows, because I've got a lot of these cute release papers, and we got like some St. Patrick's Day themed kind of colors going on in here, which kind of fits the vibe of March. So I've been really enjoying it. Now I am noticing quite heavily gapping on this one. Now this is an older Diamond Art Club square, so that makes sense. They've tightened up the grid since then. Is it like anything outrageous? No. Is it noticeable to me? Yes. Like I could see this right here, this big old gap. And I've been kind of trying to use my little straightener tool here that I've got to kind of mush them together so that they look good. I've also noticed a difference in size on drills, and I wonder if Katie mentioned any of this in her video. I'm very curious. When I finish this, I'm going to watch her video to see if she ran into similar problems, because like most people don't like using ABs, and I can understand because, you know, they're a pain to work with, especially with your wax and putty. I actually looked forward to the sections that had this big block of AB and like this block of AB over here, because they were bigger. They were slightly bigger than the normal drills, so it would scrunch up the rest of the drill field for the canvas. And that was kind of what I was trying to do. I also was trying to do a technique where it wasn't really checkerboarding as it was like line checkerboarding. Like for these big sections of color blocking, like this is very much a color block heavy kit so far, I would do every other row and put down with my multi-placer a row to try to keep things looking tight and clean. And that just seemed to help. So I'm definitely going to be utilizing that some more. And I mean, if I were to take this off, if I can with my nails, oh my goodness. Let me grab my tweezers. These release papers are awesome, by the way. Bee's Crafting Corner. Hit her up. She's awesome. But like you can see right here, I'm going to zoom it in. There we go. We have got a ton of color blocking. This 3 is AB 141. It's this like cream colored AB. And there is a ton of it. Followed by this, I think it's 712. It's the plus sign. Oh, I was right. 712, which is this other cream. So we have already 2 massive sections where it's literally just these 2 colors until the very, very end, where we get a little bit of a couple mishmash of colors, and I think maybe something of interest might happen here. But this just looks like it's just continuing on with what looks and appears to be a window, and that's about it. Like that's all it is. And I'm just working on these small little sections, and I'll tell you what, I am half tempted to rip off, well actually I don't have any release paper on my Apprentice. It is literally just the plastic itself, and maybe swap it out with some of these instead, because you know you have to trick your mind sometimes, and working on these little sections, I think this is like maybe a 2x3 section. They're not very large, but it is enough where I'll work on this little section, especially like a color block section like this, and I'm like, oh no, let's keep going. And that's kind of been it. Like this whole kit, I started just a few days ago, and I made so much progress. Like it's almost a third of the way done already. I mean, it's not a terribly large canvas. The canvas size is a 20 by 31, so it's a little bit slimmer, you know, but it's a traditional size length, medium size, my sweet spot size. And I just found that if I worked on, I could easily get 2 or 3 of these done in a day. Like I've been in the zone. Like this has been the kit that has really re-sparked my diamond painting love. Because I'll be honest, I was feeling burnout really hard with my last kit. Even though I loved my Midnight Snack by Maddie Arts, I was feeling the burnout. I wanted something different. And that's where the mystery kit came in. You don't see colors, so it's hard to see the image. And with it being covered up, I can't see it anyways, which is fun because it's a mystery. It's like there's that anticipation, that excitement, and I'm loving it. I had heard that with the older mystery kits where it was just black and white, like this one, that part of the problem was that you could see the image kind of clearly and it would cause people migraines. I'm prone to migraines and I haven't experienced any of that. I say that when, like, most of February I was suffering from migraines and being sick, but that was because of something different. But this week, because I started it this week, I haven't felt anything. Like, if anything, I've just been like, hey, let's go. I'm super excited. Let's work on this small section during lunch. So this has been so much fun. I cannot wait to see what it uncovers. So I'm very curious about that. Hopefully, and well, at the rate we're going, March's month in review, you'll hopefully be seeing a completed one. And then I get to finally watch Katie's videos about it and just kind of compare, you know, compare notes like, oh yeah, I experienced that too. Or no, I didn't see that. I love seeing that. That's the joy. That's the excitement I love about this community, is just kind of comparing. So I am kind of bummed I didn't do anything for the fairy tale and folklore event. Well, I mean, I guess Midnight Snack would have kind of qualified because it was a witch. I didn't submit for like prizes or anything. If I want something, I'm just gonna buy it. But you know, I was there in spirit. So that is it for my completions. So that's it for my completions. These are my 2 whips. I had contemplated maybe doing one more whip and I'm like, nope. I'm a one-track mind kind of person where it's like, no, I want to just finish it. Let me just follow through with it. That being said, if it's a kit like The Apprentice, where in all reality, I should have just never started after I knew that I wouldn't like it, I should have DNF'd it. Do not finish, but I'm stubborn. So I'm going to, because I want to see it through. It's my challenge project for the year. And then I get to finally do a mystery kit, and I'm enjoying the mystery kit. I have one more in my stash. And I think it was the Claudia McKinney Halloween mystery kit that released last year. I do know what that image is. So that one's not like a true mystery, although it's a little fuzzy. So maybe by the time I go to work on that one, it'll be fresh. Kind of like when you buy Christmas presents for yourself like a month or 2 in advance, and then you like wrap them up under the tree, and then Christmas Day you're like, oh yeah, it's a surprise. It's a gift for myself for later. And there goes my voice. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. That way, those of you who didn't want to see it but want to see what comes next can enjoy it. So I'm going to showcase some of my diamond accessories and some of the odds and ends that I've been doing for storage. Okay, so the last little bit I'm going to show is just kind of like some organization and items that I picked up during the first couple months to help with kind of keep everything organized. And the first thing that I did was pick up 2 of these storage boxes. These are like your trading card, baseball card storage boxes. And as you can see, I have them all labeled. This is for square. And it comes with these, let me see if I've got it in, nope, because it came with these dividers. And I just wrote down the DMC code. And then I bought a package of, oh, where are they? Oh, that's right. I ran out of those. I bought a package of these. These were the really thick, I think these were 4 milliliter thick baggies that were all the same size. I ran out of these, and I think it was like 1,000. It was a huge amount. And then I bought playing cards. These are your blank playing cards. I got a lot of this from Ashley at Messy Girl Crafts. She showcased kind of what her system was, and I really liked how just neat and tidy it was. So I copied it because it's really useful, and I would highly recommend something like this if you guys save your drills. And as you can see, like, it holds it up really nicely and they don't fall apart. I have them labeled like A, B's, and I got the stickers. So the stickers came from 2 places. I bought the Forever Young storage box solution, where it's your tray storage, and it comes in a box similar to this. But it also came with some free labels so that you can use them long term. I went ahead and I bought another packet of them. So a ton of these label stickers. And it's got like, this is obviously from Forever Young, but it's got like several, what is that, 8 for each color. Now it doesn't have 6,000 range. So what I did with the 6,000 range is I think I just wrote it down. Let me see. I think so. Yeah. I took, because they've got blank colored ones, and I just wrote it down because the 6,000 range is just something that Diamond Art Club did. And then, you know, I would write down the A, B, and then whatever the color was. Fairy dust. This was glimmer drills, and that's Jaded Gem Shop's version of the fairy dust, and I kept some of those. And then like the metallic, or not metallic, these are stained glass, and then of course fairy dust. And lots of room, like I have a whole nother row here, so lots of room for expansion. This was my square, and my square drills are all done. The round, I ran out of room, so I'm going to show you that. I ran out of the baggies. I need to buy more baggies. But this was like my previous solution. I took one of these like pencil trays, and I used to use the baggies. And as you can see, they flop because they're not very sturdy. That's why I wanted more sturdier ones. So this is a work in progress. I don't have as many rounds as I do squares, just because my general opinion has been that many of the diamond painting shops tend to gravitate towards more square canvases if they're larger and if they have more detail, which makes sense. It makes absolute sense. But that just means that some of the rounds are smaller and I just don't have as much. Even though I try to keep a nice balance in my stash, I don't have as many. So that was my storage. And then I was really excited about this one. I picked up a trading card binder, and I really like the Luna Moth. This is so pretty. I love this. I had to wait a good few weeks. It was on a boat from China to get to me. And then what I did is I put in like these little stickers that you can't really, because this was before the trading cards. But then I put like my trading cards in here. These are in order of like rarity. So these are my gold. I got my silver. And then all of the bronze, which, I mean, I don't have that many. Looking back at this, I really don't have that many kits, and I'm okay with that. Like, and that's part of the reason why I also haven't been doing as many videos, is because I don't have that much to share. I mentioned in the beginning of my year review, or my year expectations. Do what you love. And I wanted to focus on having a sustainable and healthy relationship with my hobbies. That can be very difficult because we get very influenced, obviously. I mean, we find out about all these beautiful artwork through Facebook, through ads, through influencers. I mean, obviously that's the point. I guess I'm an influencer because I'm showing it. But I wanted to make sure that I was being sustainable and realistic with what I consume and what I bought. And part of like the beginning of the year is, I guess I went on a no-buy. That wasn't necessarily true, just more that I was focusing on pieces that really spoke to me. The last piece that I picked up was Olivia, the witch student, and that was like a rare, like, oh my gosh, you never see that one. And originally it was going to be something that I could trade with, but then I fell in love with the piece, and I'm like, oh, you know what? It's fate, you know, it's speaking to me. And then I just now, because it's Saturday, I just now placed an order for the Maragona Sully book, Dragon book kit. Now that's a partial. I have the other Dragon and Books partial from Maragona Sully, and I loved it. I like her smaller pieces. Maragona Sully's smaller pieces really speak to me. Her bigger ones, not so much. Like the Cozy Christmas Witch, Rainy Day Summer. Witch reading and books. I kind of like that one. There's a dark academia one, and I'm like, there's an astrology, like a really purpley one, and I'm like, no. And I guess my biggest complaint or criticism for Marigona Sully is the fact that she tends to use a color scheme and really sticks to that color scheme, you know, where it might be all a brown and pastel. And I could just see that really getting to me over time. And I've seen a few other influencers kind of mention the same thing, that over time it just kind of gets to you, just a lot of beige. And, oops, kind of bumped my table. And if I'm going to work on a Marigona Sully with that pattern, with that color scheme, like I did with the dragon in books, I want it to be smaller. Now, this other one I picked up, that's the smaller, or it's like the dragon in books with a window. It's bigger, but it's a partial, so it's still going to be smaller. And I think that's going to be kind of a good test to see if I want to invest more into her style with that type of color scheme. Hopefully that makes sense. But I did pick up that. I also put in an order. I had a $50 reward with Diamond Art Club that I wanted to use before I lost it. I mean, because I haven't been shopping that much with Diamond Art Club. So I picked up that one. I picked up the Halloween Mini Dazzle set. You know, Halloween lives in my heart forever. It's not just an October thing. It's all year for me. And I was in the mood to do some Mini Dazzles. I think March is a Mini Dazzle event too. So, you know, hey, it works out. Maybe I might work on that in between some of my whips. And then I also picked up a couple of placers for pins. So right now I have 2 pins I use. These are my 2. These are my tried and true. This is a twist and pick pin. This is a regular pin. This has a 4 placer. This one has a 7 placer. I ordered a blank from, I think it's Along the Shores. It's a resin blank, and then I sent it to Donna Bass Pins to get it shaped and turned. And I'm going to spend the money to have them drill it so that it accepts threaded placers. So I did put in an order with Diamond Art Club for a single placer and a 10 placer, because I want to try working with some larger multi-placers, because I do enjoy multi-placing. So I have that coming up. I put in that order about a month ago, and it takes about 4 to 6 weeks, so I should be hopefully seeing some progress on that one soon. It's the first time I've ever done a custom pin, so I'm pretty excited about that, and I'll definitely showcase that to you guys when I receive it. But I'm looking forward to that. That'll be my first real splurge on a custom pin. I've got the trays and everything. You know, I've accumulated the tools of the trade. But now I'm kind of looking into some custom stuff, maybe things that just kind of make me happy. I think I'm in the mood thing right now where I want to work on or do the things that make me happy, that I'm in the mood for, not something that I feel I have to do. And for a while there, diamond painting was feeling like I kind of had to do it for the channel, and I didn't like that feeling. So the next thing that we're going to kind of talk about is kind of what to expect moving forward. I don't have hauls. I don't have unboxings. I don't have too much to really talk about in that regard, because I am working on my stash. So I think right now, when I get my order in from Diamond Art Club, that haul, I'll unbox it and I'll showcase it so that you guys can kind of see that kit that I was talking about, the Marigona Sully one. So I'll showcase that with you guys. I do want to do a video that is dedicated to books and bookish things. I had mentioned in a previous video, probably the previous one actually, about how I was working on doing a bookshelf and everything. I have that done. I did get a bookshelf and I got it completed, and I do want to show it to you guys. So that's going to be in my other video I'm going to film probably after this one, where I showcase kind of what I've been in the mood with reading, showcase what I've purchased, what I've been doing to be sustainable. I'm going to give you a little spoiler. Kind of went on the deep end a little bit with books, just a little. Target had their buy one get one half off. and I was in the mood for certain books. So, you know, sometimes you try to be financially conscious, and then it just goes right out the window. But I am excited, and I am reading some of these books right now, and I'm very excited to share that with you guys. So kind of go over some books that I've purchased, books that I've read, books I've listened to, bookish things, and what I kind of want to do for the future. I don't want to go heavy into that, just because I'm really basing it off of all the mood and vibes. And well, I can give you a spoiler. This the end of the year, it's all going to be Sarah J. Maas vibes, because 6 and 7 don't do the meme. But ACOTAR 6 and ACOTAR 7 were just announced for October 27th and I think January 12th, and I'm super excited. Cannot wait. But that means I have to read the Crescent City series. I have not done that yet. And I just finished Throne of Glass, and I have all the opinions about that one. I am currently listening to ACOTAR with my husband, and yeah, so cannot wait. I have to pick up an ACOTAR themed diamond painting, and I did see Krista Bug had one. I think it's called Starlight Lovers or something like that. It's a really pretty one of Rhysand and Feyre during that scene with the starlights. It is really pretty. I didn't quite like the Sarah Mustafa one because they looked so young. I wanted something where they looked a little older, and I think Krista Bug does a really good job. So Jada Gym Shop has that one, and it's pixel charted. It's $120 though, so I don't know about that, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated. But I think it would be really fitting to work on an ACOTAR themed diamond painting kit while actively reading the 6th and 7th books. I think that would be fun. I think that's all the vibes. I'm really looking forward to that. So, what are we going to be looking for? What to expect in the future for videos? Okay. Probably just 2 or 3 a month. Maybe 1 a week, every other week. I might alternate it where it might be like a diamond painting one and then a reading one. I mean, realistically, unless you're a speed reader, which, I mean, I'm a pretty decent reader, but I'm trying to slow down and just enjoy them. I don't really think it's very entertaining watching somebody read a book. Yeah, not really. But I don't mind doing like a mid-month check-in. Yeah, I like the sound of that. A mid-month check-in where, hey, this is kind of my whips I'm working on. This is kind of the stuff I'm reading. This is kind of the vibes I'm feeling. So maybe something like that. If I do a haul or an unboxing in between, great. I'll showcase those videos. But I think that's a nice expectation, just trying to balance things out. I don't want to have to do a haul from Diamond to Art Club every week or every other week for content. I am not an influencer that gets sent this stuff, so I don't have it to show. And I don't want to spend the money on it. I want to keep my stash relatively smaller and manageable and realistic. I also want to be responsible and kind of be a responsible role model in that regard as well, to show that, you know, hey, it's okay to have a stash of 10 or 15 or 20, just as much as it's okay to have a stash of 100, 200, 300. Whatever works for you. I just don't want people to get caught up in the keeping up with the Joneses mentality where it's like, oh, I need to pick up this, I need to pick up this, I need to pick up this. It's going to sell out. I got to get it. Oh my gosh, the amount of destashing I am seeing lately, especially with, you know, things going around in the world, you know, finances are getting a little tighter. People need that extra money. So I think it's, I just want to be a good role model in showing a nice, healthy, financially responsible hobby and what that looks like. I had mentioned in my previous videos that, you know, I have an allowance. My husband and I have a nice little spending allowance. We get $200 a month each. It's a nice amount. You know, we're fortunate that we can have that luxury, and we choose what we wish to spend, you know, our money on for hobbies or whatnot. And that helps keep things tailored in, keeps things kind of budgeted. And I've been enjoying that. And I've been using that money lately on books. But I also have, spent a little bit on some diamond painting stuff that I showed you. So just trying to keep things in balance while also enjoying spending time with my family. And lately, that's been watching anime together. My son and I have been playing a lot of Don't Starve Together, dying all the time in that game. And then like my husband and I, we've been watching some, shows together like Bridgerton, catching up on that, while also listening to, ACOTAR out loud. And, if you've read any of ACOTAR, you probably know it's not exactly child friendly. So, that's separate from our son. But that is going to be it for me. So kind of a little bit to talk about. I'm glad I decided to split up the reading stuff in a separate book or in a separate video because this one went long. But it was nice just kind of chatting with everybody and catching up and just letting you know, hey, I'm still alive, just kind of doing my own thing, really zoning in and working on my stash. And it's been really nice. It's been very rewarding. So I look forward to showing my end of the month progress with my mystery kit and showing you kind of some goodies along the way, hopefully. Fingers crossed I get my custom pin before the end of the month. But that's going to be it for me for this video. If you did enjoy, do hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to stay caught up. And then I will catch you guys in the next video.